Richard Fulop.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'd like to start by commending both my honourable friend, the Minister, and the shadow spokesman, the honourable member for Ilford South, for, on this side, proposing some measures, and I think for the opposition asking some very serious and sensible questions about some of the issues here, and I do hope the Minister will respond to a couple of those. I noticed that I should mention that I'm a member of the all-party group for trailer and towing safety. I know that the chair is here, and I know she will be speaking after me. I do have a couple of questions, if I may, for the Minister. And Mr Deputy, it's interesting. This arises from a constituent just coming to see me in one of my constituent surgeries, and I think just points out the importance that we're able to meet with our constituents. Driving has always been a task that's always been quite difficult for me, so issues about driver safety are always quite key to my mind. And although I'm not too familiar with heavy goods vehicles, it seems to me there must be a substantial difference between a rigid HGV vehicle and one that is with a trailer, and that the driving requirements and the safety requirements between the two should be really rather significantly different. And when I met my constituent, he came to see me, and he just sort of showed me just the reversing test for one of these vehicles and how much more complicated it is when you have a trailer compared to when it is a rigid vehicle. So my first question to the Minister, echoing what the shadow spokesperson has said, is what assessment was made or has been made by the government about the safety difference between those two types of vehicle? Because we are making quite a significant change with this by not requiring people who have had the training on the rigid HGV vehicle then to be able to then go forward to one with a trailer, allowing people to go straight from being able to drive a car to being able to use an HGV with a trailer. So what was the safety assessment that came, not just in the consultation, but separately by the department? May I also ask about the question on the availability of spaces for testing? My understanding is that although increasing the capacity may be an issue, and we hear numbers bandied around over this debate about how, and before this, about how many drivers there are short. And I think the range goes from 20,000 to 90,000. Nobody actually knows what the shortage is. No one really knows how long that shortage is going to last, which is why the government is so right to come up with a range of policies, including some of these being proposed today. But increasing the capacity is not the same as clearing the backlog, because where you have that capacity matters just as much as how much capacity you have. And again, from my constituent, just anecdotal evidence, but I'll be interested to know from the Minister. My constituent said that actually at local facilities there was a surplus of spaces available for tests right now. So what assessment has my honourable friend made about where the capacity shortages are? Is there a geographic understanding of where those spaces may be, or where those spaces might be required? And finally, I must just reiterate the point made by the member for Ilford South. It does look strange that this change is going to take place for a period of 3 years, rather than for a period of 6 months or 12 months. It looks like trying to achieve a regulatory change, sort of not quite through the back door, Mr Deputy Speaker, but sort of without actually saying you're trying to do a regulatory change. So it would be reassuring if the Minister could provide some response to what her and the Department's intentions are on that matter.
Thank you very much.